Oh my goodness. Okay, it's working. Is it working? There we go, kind of. Oh, shoot. Is this? This is going to be a good test run using this new microphone. One of my friends, best friends, let me borrow his mic. It's a blue mic. My lamp gave out here, so lighting is a little bit off, but I hear that if the audio is good, baby. um, Mimu, hey, what's up, Mimu? And it's gone. Oh no, is it gone? Oh, all right. Hopefully it'll work. Um, okay. So this week, if you guys didn't see in the description, I wanted to go over building rapport a little bit because I feel like a lot of the issues that we have in the grooming, a lot of the stories that we hear that are groomers getting hurt, a lot of things like that, I think can be avoided just by spending. Dude, I have that mic. It's the snowball, isn't it? Yeah, it is. That your bandana looks. Oh, thank you, thank you. Same one that I've been wearing. But anyway, and my hair is almost long enough to actually tie back now, so the samurai look is on its way. Um, but yeah, I just wanted to go into building rapport a little bit, just because Harley, the last time I went and groomed Harley, he didn't try to bite me even once. I mean, I was like, wow, a completely different dog. But I do know that if I had like a good friend that's a groomer to go, I would probably warn them like, hey, he's probably gonna bite you. You know, like even though he doesn't bite me anymore, it's because we've built that rapport. And building rapport, even though it's step one in my process, it's not like you check it off and it's done, you know? Like not to get into religion, but you know how some people believe once saved, always saved, you know, things like that. It's not like once we're friends, we're always friends. You know, even in a friendship, even in a human friendship, you have to work on that friendship and develop it. And you know, the more shared experiences that we have, the better the relationship. The better the relationship, the more trust there is. The more the dog will let us get away with. You know, the dog will let us, you know, pull the hair in the ears and, you know, like brush their teeth even though they don't like it, or file their nails even though they don't like it, you know. And even though they might whine a little bit, at least they're not fighting, and they're not fighting for their life or trying to jump off the table or trying to go after you. And a lot of it really has to go back with to rapport, having that relationship. And I love to use example of running my fingers through my daughter's hair. I can do that, especially when I'm trying to, you know, get the tangles out and everything. I can run my fingers through my daughter's hair because I'm the dad. But just because another guy sees me do it at the playground, he can't come up and start daughter's hair, you know. But let's just say that it's a friend of mine, a good friend of mine. We're always hanging out on the weekends and barbecues, and you know, he does magic tricks for the kids, and all the kids love him. And you know, one day he's like, "Hey, you got some tangles in your hair." You know, kind of runs his fingers through her hair, and like gets the tangles out. No problem, right? Um, let's see. Triple Lotus. Hey, what's up, Triple Lotus? Leon. Hey, what's up, Leon? How is it in Trinidad right now? Hey, Bees Knees. Hey, what's up, Bees Knees? Oh my goodness, it's like a reunion of like old friends, right? Oh my goodness, I missed you guys. Love your kindness towards the dogs and the passion. Thank you so much. Michelle, that's okay. So that's Michelle Garcia. Michelle saying, love your kindness towards the dogs and the passion you have. I really appreciate that. You know, that's the thing is like, I guess when you're really involved with something that when you really love, people call it passion, you know. It's like for me, it's just playing around, you know, having fun really. Bees knees, LOL, June. Hi, June from Bees in Australia. Australia. Hello, world. Wow. Hello, June from Australia. Wow, Tran Van Heeswick. Australia, and just for fun, sometimes I go through the analytics and I see like I like to go through the world, and it shows you like all the countries in the world, and when you scroll over them, your cursor, it'll show you how many views are coming from each country. It's just fun to me. Oh my goodness, it's like I got friends in Poland, Germany, Ukraine, Spain, France, Australia, Philippines. Oh my goodness. I think I get like 5,000 views every 28 days from the Philippines. I didn't even know I didn't know that there was that many pet owners in Philippines, but like, wow, thank you guys so much. I just can't believe it. Who'd have thought that you can do something and something would happen? Like, anyways, like, oh, Steve Jobs, I think, put it best. Once you actually start to realize that you can poke here and something comes out here, and that's how the world works, like you can actually do something. Wow, like we are creators. We can literally create things. Like, oh, anyways, message retracted from God's lady first. Oh, these knees. You have taught me so much, and you're so darn cool with the wags. Thank you so much. And I'm learning too. I'm constantly learning. It seems like every spring I'm learning something new, because every spring I kind of forget how difficult it was the spring before. It's like today, I washed two dogs earlier, and I just got done in time to make it home, have a little dinner and jump on here a little bit late. I'm sorry, guys, but oh my goodness. But the two dogs I watched today, they're like, one's a black lab, and one's like a tricolor retriever mix, medium coat hair, double coat, both of them. It took me so much time to just rake out all that dead undercoat and, hand strip and things like that. It took me a long time, about 2.5 hours on each dog, two and a half to, one of them took me 3 hours. So I started at 1, got out of there, clean up and everything at 7. It's downtown. So anyways, but yeah, it's just spring. It's springtime. And I used to resent it. I used to resent the work, the extra amount of work and time it takes during the springtime and fall, especially because I had a hard time explaining to the owners why it was taking so long, what's going on, because I had a hard time understanding it myself. At first, I thought it was the owner's fault. I would actually tell my wife, like, nobody's listening. Nobody's listening to anything I'm saying. They're not brushing their dogs, I realized even though they are brushing their dogs, even though we keep them on a regular schedule, the spring and the fall is what it is. That's just the time when their coat rotates and changes. So I no longer resent the work, and I just explain to the clients that, it's spring, it's going to take a little longer, and I'm still trying to figure out better ways to explain what's going on, because even my client tonight, a friend, actually, he's a really good friend, but he was walking me out to the car, and there's a lady with their dog. He was like, I have to introduce you to, this is Jun, he's all, and I was just like, yeah, I was like, I actually have a YouTube channel. You can, in a website that you could just learn how to do it yourself. I don't actually have to come and groom your dog. But then, we're talking, she shaves her dog every summer, like once a year in the summertime, to help with the shedding. And I can see all the compacted fuzzy and all the stuff going on in the skin. And you can't really see it from afar. When you get up close and I start digging in, I can see it. And I was trying to explain to her why it wasn't good to shave her dog, and why it's good to spend that extra time, and why it's a good thing that her dog is shedding so much right now. It's a sign of a healthy, properly functioning skin. It's doing what it's supposed to be doing at this time. And I was telling her if it wasn't shedding, that would be a problem. Then we would start having to worry. Why is my dog not shedding? But I realized it. I still need to work on how to simplify what it is I do and try to make it easier for other people to understand. So as much as you feel like I'm teaching you these news, I'm actually not teaching anything. I'm just kind of sharing things that I'm learning myself that I think are really fascinating. And I think that if people knew, they would probably groom their dogs differently. So I'm sharing, but also I'm learning by sharing how to how to express my ideas better. So I feel like I'm benefiting a lot more, maybe not more, but I'm benefiting just as much as everyone else. Um, Bees Knees, Australia loves you. You're our dog whisperer teacher. Oh my goodness, a wagon people. What? Australia. And first of all, uh, my wife would like give me a thumbs up, but I love the dog whisperer, Caesar Milan. You know, everyone knows I love Caesar. But yeah, to be even be compared to dog whisperer. I mean, you know, one thing though, Caesar Milan did say though that everybody is a dog whisperer. He was like, if you have a dog and you're willing to work with your dog and understand your dog, I don't know if you guys saw my wife jump upstairs. Um, then you are a dog whisperer. He's like, everybody has that potential to be a dog whisperer themselves, and we all have it inside. So yeah, I mean, maybe sometimes when people tell me that, I shouldn't believe them so easily, or maybe that I'm naive. But yeah, when people used to tell me as a young kid, like, we all have greatness inside of us, you know, we all have the potential to be great, I believe them. um, Hi, June. Good to see you. My Shizzy thanks you. Georgia sounding off. Whoa, nice. Um, Tran Van Heeswig and God's Lady First. Thank you so much. Oh, I really appreciate you always watching, and you know the continued support. I have Tran Van Heeswick. I've been trying to groom my Maltese Shih Tzu myself, and just love your videos. Have been going to groomer. Nice. And the thing is, you know, I'm not saying don't go to a groomer. These videos are more for just if you know, have a hard time finding a groomer that you like or whatever the issues are. And a lot of times, especially for me, it was budget. I mean, it's not that I can't, it's not that I don't believe that these services are great. It's just that a lot of times I don't have it in my budget. So the reason why I do my own oil change, you know, it's not that I don't like taking it to the oil change place and pay someone to do it. I'd rather, but you know, a lot of times it's just not in the budget, especially with my cars. High mileage is paid off, you know, almost pushing 200,000 miles. So I like to use the synthetic and the nice filter. If I go to you know, the oil change place and get the synthetic oil with the nice filter, I'm looking like over $100. So, you know, rather pay like $30 and just do it myself at home, you know. And anyways, I don't know how that got into it, but yeah, I mean, that's really why a lot of people groom at home, I believe. But what I wanted to do is, especially for people who kind of feel like, oh, I'm at my wit's end, my dog's getting banned from these grooming shops, I have to groom myself. I wanted to give them some hope, and you know, maybe give them some ideas of like ways they could go about it. But yeah, it's really cool because I never really thought that anybody would watch them. um, Michelle Garcia, is your shop in Atlanta, Georgia? I wish I could bring my fur babies to you. My collie could use your, oh my goodness, a collie, especially around now, is blowing coat. It's gonna take so much time and effort to comb all of that dead coat out of a collie, especially around this time. And I actually don't have a shop anymore. I had a shop. It was called the Furific Spa, and a lot of people might be like, you know, man, June, he thinks he's all that. I knew him back in Furific Spa. Anyways, I had a shop called Furific Spa, and well, my wife and I, and it didn't go the way we planned, and then we had a home-based business in Chamblee, and then that was a roller coaster ride. Oh my goodness. It was so hard in the beginning. But then once we got past the winter months, it started to pick up. And then the next winter, so I guess like right around like November, December-ish, we got a call, and then we went out to Arizona because my mother-in-law she had I think it was like 5 strokes that morning, and like mini strokes or something like that, and then a big one, and then she was paralyzed, and it happened so suddenly. And like an idiot, I didn't say anything about it because I didn't want to you know, I just kind of felt funny about putting, you know, my wife's personal family business out there and things like that, and why we had to go. So I just kind of you know, made it a little bit vague in an email to, you know, a newsletter to all my clients, and just kind of explained we had to go out west to Arizona, and The good news is there's a lady named Michelle Knowles out there that I've been following, and I might have a chance to work with her. And so a lot of my clients thought that we packed up and just left so that I could pursue some sort of show career in grooming. And so, and it's kind of, I can see where they kind of would have thought that, because there was a time there where I was talking about going out to Cali and trying to become Caesar Milan's groomer, which was delusional, I admit. But anyways, that's kind of what happened. And we fumbled around out west a little bit, went up to Utah, which is another long story I don't want to get into um, at this time. And then we went back to Arizona, and now we're back. And now what I do is I go to my clients' homes and I groom their dogs in their homes. So it's called house call grooming, kind of a little niche industry that's growing. But Michelle, if you're in the Metro Atlanta area, then you can email me at junthegroomer@gmail.com, and my wife will answer because she does all of the scheduling, the admin, everything. My wife is amazing. So she's the brains behind the business, and she'll get you all hooked up, and I'll go out and groom your dog in your house. Um, but right now, I think we're booked out till like, I think mid-May or June or something like that. And in June, the first week of June, we're going to be taking a family trip up to New Jersey. Oh my goodness. Anyways, before I get carried away, Tran Van Hiswick. Um, it does take me nearly half a day to do it myself, and that's actually natural. That's normal. Was a lot of times when I hear about people who get their dogs groomed within an hour or two, I'm just like, what? Are you kidding me? Like it takes me an hour or two just to get the dog brushed out. Sometimes, like all the dead hair and the dander and the just the crustiness, like the white powdery stuff that comes out. Just to get all that cleared out, it takes me an hour or two sometimes, and then the bath. You can't just lather them up and rinse them off. You got to let the shampoo sit, give the shampoo time, and then the rinse time, and then the dry, and especially then if you're doing a haircut on top of that, yeah, it's gonna take. And what I tell people is just take your watch off and make sure you have nothing else scheduled that day. Do it on a Sunday or a day that you don't have to work, or you don't have anything else, like anything urgent to do, because once you start looking at the clock and you start feeling frustrated, or you start feeling rushed, the dog doesn't know why you're feeling this way, why you're feeling this extra anxiety. They're just going to pick it up, and they don't know that you have to meet Sally at 2 o'clock, and you stood her up last time. This is your last chance, or Sally's just not going to talk to you again. Dog doesn't know that, so just make sure you don't have anything pressing, anything urgent that day. Take your watch off and just really enjoy that time, and be in tune and bond with your dog. Really observe, how they're behaving. Are they favoring this leg? Are they whimpering when you're touching this area? Things like that. Really get to know your dog. This is a time to Mother Nature has given us this opportunity, grooming our dog. Mother Nature has given us this activity to show our dogs in an obvious way that they're going to understand that we care about them, And so it really shouldn't be about how quickly can I get this done. It should be, I'm gonna I'm gonna spend as much time as it needs. I'm gonna give you as much time as necessary, and that's really what it should be about, I believe. And that's why with my clients too, like when I'm grooming that dog, I'm grooming that dog. I'm all in. I don't think about anything else. And then when I'm done, then I'm freaking out, texting, oh my goodness, my next appointment. Like things ran over. I'm sorry, I'm on my way now. But while I'm grooming, no. I mean, I'm focused 100% on what's going on. Um, let's see here. Sharon Land. What is best shampoo for your dog? So right now I'm using Relic and Advet. And I'll put the description. I'll put a link actually to their products in the description after this. But Relic, both of them I met at the Atlanta Pet Fair. And the reason why I like these two companies is because Relic, so here's their secret sauce. They use volcanic minerals, and there's a secret where they get their volcanic minerals. But I kept kind of asking, prodding, and they wouldn't tell me. And so I kind of explained, like, and he was saying, like, you can't just mine volcanic minerals in Hawaii or something, it's not the same. He's like, it's very important where we get it. And so I was like, that makes a lot of sense, because I actually studied jasmine rice a little bit, and I found out that jasmine rice has these healing benefits, and it has this nutty flavor and aroma, distinct aroma to it, because of the soil that's in Thailand. And you can take jasmine rice and grow it anywhere else around the world. It will not have the same qualities. It has to be grown in Thailand because the volcanic minerals in the soil. So when I said that, but I'm thinking maybe it's Thailand where they get their volcanic minerals, but it doesn't matter. He was saying that even if they find out where they get their volcanic minerals, their second secret is their nanotechnology, how they break it down into nanoparticles so it passes easily through the dog's skin. So the product is called Relic, Reliq. And then Advet is the other product that I really like. And Advet has a shampoo, conditioner, and a spray. And it's like a three-step treatment, that kind of thing for skin. But even if the dog doesn't have any skin issues, even if they have normal skin, this is an amazing product to use. And what I really like is that it doesn't come in different flavors, meaning like different varieties. It's one shampoo, one conditioner, and one spray. That's it. And you know how I love simplicity. So, and the ingredients are all natural. They use the essential oils. They have arnica, and arnica is like a flower that has amazing healing benefits for the skin. Um, so Advet, Advet, and Relic. And total transparency, I figured out how to use affiliate links on Amazon. So I really felt kind of weird about this. I really was like, oh my God, I don't want to be a Judas. I don't want to sell out, I don't want to be all salesy. But I met this lady named Monica from San Francisco. She was here in Atlanta for a business trip, and we met for dinner. Her, my wife and I met her, bought her. Yeah, no, she wouldn't let us buy her dinner. She made her own half. Anyways, but Monica was telling me that she bought all the tools that I was using in my videos. I was like, wow, really? And she was telling me, like, you should, like, you shouldn't feel bad putting links up so that people can buy the tools. We're gonna buy them anyways. You might as well make a percentage off it. So um, after the show, I'll put the Amazon affiliate link for both Relic and Advet shampoos. If you want to order it off of Amazon, I get a little cut off of it, just to be honest, guys. But I mean, if you wanted to just order direct off to their website, you could too. It's advet.com. No, I think it's advetpetcare.com. And for Relic, it's just relic.com, I think. Let's see here. Sharon. So Sharon Lamb, thank you so much for that question. Let me go on a little rant. Bees knees. It's fall here, and here the dog's coats are insane. LOL. Your instructions about stripping is so helping us. Exactly. And stripping the dead hairs. just to be clear. I got this one message, a comment, and when I'm not driving or grooming, or like talking to other people and things like that in a meeting, then like, I see a comment come in, I usually try to respond to it right then and there, because I know the comments just come in so fast, but I read them all. And this one comment I read earlier, it was saying, it quoted me with the video where I was grooming the blue pit bull, the hyper uncooperative pit bull, and she was like, quote unquote, I play with his nuts. And she was like, I can't even watch a grooming video with my kids without hearing I'm playing with his nuts. And she was like, gosh, like, but anyways, yeah, I just want to try to be careful now so I don't offend anybody. Well, it's like, I guess you can't be too careful. And I just probably offended somebody just by telling that story. Anyways, Triple Loaded. Caesar Milan said he started off as a dog groomer. Yes, he did. And but the thing is, not hating on the guy. I'm glad that he didn't continue as a dog groomer. I'm glad he went off and did what he did. But I hear he wasn't really a great dog groomer, and that's not. I'm not trying to throw shade on Caesar Milan. He's my mentor. He's my, he's. I don't even want to say idol anymore because I realize that heroes are heroes because we see qualities in them that we have in ourselves that that we aspire to be. That's why we look up to them. Anyways, but yeah, I hear just from different people who have met him and things like that, and people in the grooming world as well, that he wasn't a great groomer. And he's much better now doing what he's doing now. And the same probably could be said of me. I'm probably not a great dog. I could probably say it. I could say it with confidence because I've worked with other dog trainers who have flat out told me, "You're not a good dog trainer." So, the same thing could be said about me. I'm not a good dog trainer. I'm not a good dog behaviorist or any of that stuff. I'm just a really good dog groomer. And so, Caesar, if you ever need your dog groomed, baby, I'm right. That's not to get creepy. Bees knees, man, you are freaking way up from. Okay, Bees knees says, man, you are freaking way up from. I don't know. It stops right there. But it was going somewhere nice. I could tell. Leon Harewood. Leon, oh man, Leon is a buddy of mine. Oh, he goes by like Otis or something like that, right? Leon on Instagram. But he's a groomer in Trinidad. We're bros. We're like this. But Leon, I agree to learning the dogs over the past 3 years into my grooming. I've realized that each dog comes with a different personality. They all have something that they don't like. Exactly. Every single dog is different, just like people. Seriously. Leon Harewood, I have like 2 or 3 perfect dogs out of the 160 plus dogs I grew. 2 or 3 perfect out of 160 plus. Yeah, and the thing is though, it is like that in the beginning, Leon. I am in 3 years, yeah, because you're probably doing a lot of like dogs that are not very regular and things like that. But for me now, I would say it's opposite. The majority of the dogs that I groom now are perfect, and there's like 2 or 3 that just still aren't, because they just have a lot. They're high strung. They have a lot of anxiety and they're nervous, things like that. But um, I think the longer you groom Leon, you'll find that it gets a little easier because the dogs just start to get to know you. And, after a few years, the dogs, even if they didn't like grooming and they did behave kind of badly, but they know you're a good guy and they all has a good experience with you, they're just like, you know what, it's that guy again. And usually it gets easier. Sharon Land, I would like to learn more. I would like to clip a dog at the pound to help them get a chance to be adopted. And he's like, yes. And Sharon, that's how I did too. When I was actually learning to be a groomer, I was like apprenticing and kind of doing some shave downs here and there, which I don't recommend. Me personally, now I am personally against shaving dogs down. But at that time, I didn't know. And so I was shaving dogs down and things like that. And I would go to the pound, I would go to the shelters. But here's the thing, it was only really one. It was called Small Dog Rescue, but now they're called Fur Kids. I think they got bought out by the Fur Kids. But anyways, I have to admit, it was really tough to get in. The only way I got in was we held a free grooming seminar at the vet clinic that I was working at. And so I proposed an idea to the groomer that was teaching me, Barbara. I was like, what if we had a free dog grooming seminar, like a clinic for the clients here at the vet clinic, and we can show them how to brush their dogs and how to maintain them in between grooms. We can sell some grooming equipment and things like that. We can grow the grooming department. She was like, great. Go ahead and write up an outline. So I did. She was like, whoa, because I honestly think she was surprised because she didn't think that I was going to write one up. And she was like, oh my God, this is like really good. And so we talked to the vet about it, and we did the free grooming clinic kind of workshop, I think we called it. And there at the workshop, there's a lady who volunteers at the Small Dog Rescue. And she was like, I can get you in. So she got me in touch with the guy that ran the place. And then I was able to go in and groom some dogs for them on my days off. But that was how I got in. And I have to admit, it's really tough. When I was in Arizona, I was trying to get in touch with a bunch of rescue shelters and stuff. And one I did, but then there's a couple times where I was working with another guy and things just scheduling issues, scheduling conflicts. It just didn't work out. But um, sharing land, I would say maybe even Facebook. If there's like a Facebook group for the shelter or the pound that's in your area, maybe try to get in touch with them like that way, or maybe just go and visit them and let them know that you would like to offer, like free grooming in exchange for getting practice. And sometimes they'll be up for it, sometimes they won't be. Um, but it's or friends' dogs. Offer to do your friends' dogs for free. To get some practice. But yeah, it's or if you wanted to, maybe even volunteer at a busy grooming shop on the weekends or maybe a weekday or something, and just tell them I'm not even looking to get paid. I just want the experience. And that's what I did. I worked for free for an entire week as a bather, and I worked my butt off. Oh my goodness, for an entire week. And then they hired me on as a bather. Let's see. Sorry, the little fruit fly trying to get into my IPA. That ain't happening. Um, Nikki Epoch. It's my boy June. Hey, what's up? What's up, Nikki? I don't even no, is that Nikki? Did we meet before, Nikki, at the grooming at the Atlanta Pet Fair? That name sounds really familiar. But anyways, it's my boy June. What's up, Nikki? Daniel Brown. What's up, Daniel Brown from New Zealand? Hi, how are you today, June? Dogs, good. I'm videos, please. It's sun and cool here in Seek, New Zealand. That's awesome, Daniel. It's a little bit rainy here. Georgia weather gets crazy. It was like summertime weather last week, and then all of a sudden, today it's like all rainy and kind of cold again. Jen Mills, I have a nice grooming table in my home and groom my Havanese myself too. You've been so helpful, especially getting him to relax and trust me. It's just keeping a sense of calm so he stays calm too. Exactly. And that's why I love about that rapport definition. It was, you get what you give. That's what rapport meant. And that's really what it is. If you want a dog to trust you, you first have to give the dog your trust. Meaning, don't pull away and things like that. When the dog like turns back and bites you or something, I usually stay right there and I say, "Oh, I'm sorry about about that, buddy. Like I gotta do this." And I just show complete trust to the dog. And I don't know. I hesitate to tell people to do things that I do because I understand that there's a potential to get seriously hurt. So, um, I guess, go with your heart, but don't forget your head. um, Steel Texas gal. So good to see you smiling again. Hey, what's up, Steel Texas gal? Talking about what you love to do makes me so happy. You are the best. What? Okay, giving props to your sweet wife. Awesome. Thank you, Steel Texas. And Steel Texas gal, a lot of your ideas, we really appreciated it. And I don't know if you've been noticing, but we've been trying to incorporate those ideas, making smaller video clips, like short little tips. And the Q&A thing, we were thinking about scrapping this whole little thing and doing something else. But I don't know. There's just been a lot of people asking me to come back and do the Q&A. So, hey, like you got to do what people want, right? um, Triple Lotus, you and your videos have saved me so much money on grooming to do it myself, but I still will use a professional groomer now and then. While I'm grooming, what would June do? Nice. And Triple Lotus, that's the thing. It's like it's not only is it the money that you save, but it's that time that you spend with your dog, bonding with them and building that trust. It's the mother brushing her daughter's hair, just caressing it sometimes and until she falls asleep in her lap. Things like that. These are moments for us to really strengthen that bond that we have with our dogs. And the way they look at you, the way they trust you, it's just it's you can't buy it from a dog. You can only earn it. And the way you earn it is by giving them your time and putting in some effort. And that's what grooming is. Grooming is love in action. Um, let's see here. Jen Mills. I groom my dog a little every day in about 15 to 20 minutes each day. Sometimes I brush, sometimes do ears, sometimes just trim paws. Okay, yeah, I mean, and that's really cool. So she does a little bit every day, 15 to 20 minutes every day. Sometimes she brushes, sometimes whatever needs to be done on that particular day. That's awesome. And so and that's exactly what grooming should be. You know, grooming is not washing your dog or doing the haircut. Because if that's what grooming was, grooming would only occur once every month or two, you know? Grooming is hygiene. Grooming is making sure you pluck the all that straggly hairs that grow around here, and brushing and keeping your facial hair clean, brushing your teeth, cleaning out your ears. This is all grooming. So grooming really should happen on a daily basis. And so Jen Mills, wow, mad props. Lots of respect to you for that. Because honestly, I'll give you completely honest. I don't groom my dogs every day. Because man, I'm beat. And then after this, even my wife and I like to go to the gym every night and in the morning. So after this is over, we're gonna go hit the gym and then take a shower, and I gotta get ready for my next day because I gotta be at my client's house pretty early tomorrow. So honestly, I don't groom my dogs every day, but when I do it thoroughly. Um, and I do make sure I spend that time, at least once a week, or. And sometimes if it gets a little bit more than once a week, I will start to feel guilty. Kelsey Gillespie, how many dogs do you groom on an average day? On an average day, about 2 to 3 dogs. Sometimes I do 4, but that's on a day where my wife will have to come out and help me. All hands on deck, because if you think about it, I have the 4 steps that I follow. Step 1 is build rapport. And that really, I mean, sometimes if it's a new client, that will be the day, and I'll just go home without even grooming the dog because the dog just doesn't trust me enough yet. So step 1 is build rapport. Step 2 is prep the skin, which means getting out the excessive dead coat, the dander, and clearing out the pores a little bit. Step 3 is the wash, the shampoo and conditioner, and then drying. And step 4 will be the final brush out and the haircut. So each one of these steps takes, well, step 1 is a variable, but step 2, brushing out the dog, even if it's a regular client, I'm seeing them every month, it's going to take about 30-40 minutes to brush out that dog, the entire head to toe, every square inch. Um, then the bath takes another 30-40 minutes, drying takes another 30-40 minutes, and the haircut probably takes another 30-40 minutes. So you're looking at about 2 to up to 4 hours to follow those 4 steps. 2 hours on a regular client that I'm seeing regularly, and if it's not the spring or the fall, and about 4 hours if it's the spring or fall, or if it's a new client. Um, and so I'm really only able to do about 2 to 3 dogs a day. And then when we do 4 dogs a day, that's only possible if my wife comes out and she's working on one, brushing them out, getting them all brushed out and carded while I'm, washing or doing the haircut on the other. So yeah, if I had an employee, I probably could do about maybe 4 to 6 dogs a day. But um, I hear I don't work well with other. No, I was kidding. It's not that. Well, it's really because I'm not a good manager. My wife and I would get into it because my wife would be like, "Here, I need you to do this, this, and this, and this," and I'm like, "Oh, don't. If you don't have time, I'll get to it. I'll do it." And and then my wife, she should be like, "Why isn't this done?" Blah blah blah. And then I pull my wife aside, like, "Hey, you don't have to talk to him like that. Like." So I try to be friends with everybody, so not a great manager. But hey, I used to try to work on my weaknesses. Now I just admit them. I'm not a strong manager supervisor type. So I think I'd be better more with like people who wanted to shadow me or something, just wanted to watch what I do and learn. I mean, I think I do better in that way, like instructor kind of. um but yeah, I'm not really good at telling people what to do. um Daniel Brown. Hi June. Hey Daniel, what's going on, buddy? I'm not gonna get creepy with Daniel. um Bees Knees. Yes, the tools products you have shown live. I've got them all best products. Nice. So Bees Knees. You even use the products that I talk about and use in my videos. So yeah, I'm Triple Lotus. I'm interested in your Amazon affiliate link. Thanks. Oh, nice. Yeah. So Triple Lotus, thank you. So yeah, before though, I felt very funny about trying to make money off of doing these YouTube videos and things like that. I was just like, oh man, I just don't want to sell out. The reason why I do these YouTube videos is because I want to share what I do and share what I'm learning about these dog skins and how to take care of them properly. How to deal with some of these aggressive dogs and these challenges and issues that a lot of people face when they're grooming their dogs at home or professional groomers at work even. So I don't know. I just kind of felt like if I started to make money off the videos, you know, that would cheapen it, and then I would be like a sellout. It wouldn't be authentic anymore. It wouldn't be genuine anymore, and things like that. Like because I figured it's not the video quality, it's not like the production value that has all of you watching. It's the genuineness, right? It's the authenticity, the sincere desire to help. So I was like, where does making money tie into that? I really wasn't into it, but once I started to talk to a few people, especially YouTube friends who watch my videos, like Monica from San Francisco, she was telling me like, no, like if you would have had a Amazon link, I would have totally clicked it and bought it off of your Amazon link. So yeah, I really appreciate you guys. I really appreciate the support. Oh my, to think that I could put a link up and you all are willing to click on it and buy the products, and knowing that I'm going to get a percentage of it, and you're fine with that. Not only are you fine with that, but you're happy to do it. Like it means so much to me, guys. That's really cool. I don't want to cry, so I'm going to move on. Let's see here. I I Andrea BRDA. Hi June. Hey Andrea, what's up? Is washing once a week too much? Pepper is so happy. I watch your videos. Thank you for what you do, Andrea. Um, yes, in my opinion, once a week is too much because when we wash our dogs at a cellular level, their skin, and this is what I learned from the IACC, the International Society of Canine Cosmetologists. Pamela Ritson was the founder, is the founder. Um, So when we wash our dogs on a cellular level, the skin interprets it as an attack. So the way it responds to an attack is for about 21 days, which is about 3 weeks. It goes into this overdrive. It goes into this mode where it's a recovery mode, where it's producing skin cells and oils at a more rapid pace to try to recover what it thinks was attacked off the surface, which it was on a cellular level. It was attacked. And so that's how it responds. And so if we're watching them every week or even 2 weeks, before it goes back into the normal mode, and while it's still in this recovery overdrive mode, we're throwing it right back into recovery mode as it's coming out of it every week or two. So I recommend waiting at least 3 weeks. So most of my clients are in a 4 to 6 week schedule, some are on an 8 to 12 week schedule. And we have a few clients that are like quarterly, once every 3 or 4 months, and we really don't even count them because I mean, sometimes I feel like, do they still like us anymore? Are they still my clients? And sure enough, hey June. So yeah, we don't really count them on our client list because I like everyone that's on 4 to 6 or even 6 to 8 week, we count as our regulars. But yeah, I would recommend waiting at least 4 weeks before washing your dog again. And that's just my opinion. Bees knees. No, we're not stripping in fall. Too cold, June. Just the wags. Here, LOL. Summer in Australia. Yes, everyone's stripping off. Is so desert hot here. Yeah. Well, in the fall as well, though. I do a lot of carting in the fall because, again, um, in the fall, as the seasons transition from the fall into the winter, and they say December 21st, June 21st, and December 21st are those peak shedding days for dogs. So it's just the rotation of the coat throughout the year. And if we don't clear out that old coat in the fall, then in the spring we kind of have a backup situation sometimes. Well, I mean, usually the dogs do blow it out and it works itself out as long as we're not washing them with, in between, as long as we're not interfering so much. They usually work it out. Um, and that also depends on what kind of coat. I mean, obviously, if we're talking about a Maltese, then yeah, we're gonna wash them. We have to wash them and get involved a little bit more often. But if we're talking about like a border collie or something like that, it's like, yeah, I mean, maybe not wash them so much. Um, Tran Van Heeswijk. Okay, Tran Van Heeswijk. My dog doesn't like his feet done. He nips me when I try to cut the fur on his feet. The professional groomer says he gets a little anxious when they do his feet. Any suggestions? Um, my best suggestion would be to do your best, try your best to forget about the times where your dogs bit you, and try to convince yourself that your dog is not going to bite you, and go about it that way. And I don't want to get it. I mean, I know this kind of sounds like woo-woo stuff, but like the psychological babble kind of stuff. But really, in my personal experience, and I had a dog actually in Utah where the mom was just like, "I cannot believe you can trim the feet," and I would actually even pluck the hairs in between the toes that got too long and fuzzy and they're dead. And this dog sometimes would go after me, but as long as I let her bite my hands and like put her mouth on my hand and kind of, let me know how she's feeling. And I would tell her like, no, don't, it's okay. Just be kind of firm and calm and persistent. um, she let me do it without really hurting me. But everyone else, yeah, she would bite, even the mom. So thanks for pronouncing my name. Everyone gets it wrong. Oh, honestly, I wasn't sure if I was getting your name right or not. But that's really cool. Tran Van Heeswijk. Um, but yeah, I would just really try to convince myself that my dog is not going to behave like this time, and then go about it that way. And I know that sounds crazy, but just try to give it a try and visualize it. Imagine it happening, like really see it happening, and see yourself being totally calm, totally in charge. And your dog might, turn to bite a little bit here and there, but you're not going to react. You're not going to, draw back or flinch or anything. You're just going to be totally calm, you know and once you see yourself doing it, then give it a try, an honest try. And it doesn't work for everybody, I know. Because I tell my wife the same thing all the time. She's like, it's not working for me. You're like, I don't know what it is. um MSL, no, MS Insomnia 89. Hi, hey, MS Insomnia. What's up? Oh, I have a really, really old, cheesy insomnia joke. What does atheistic dyslexic insomniac do? They stay up all night wondering whether or not there is a dog. Anyways, Sharon Land, you should sell your videos like Caesar does. See, I don't know. Especially because I feel like I'm nowhere near the level Caesar Milan is. Um, we're in different industries, but still, in terms of grooming, I'm not at the level that Caesar Milan is, and how he works with dogs. Not only that, again, I'm just now getting over the feeling of ickiness, I guess, of using affiliate links and trying to, make money off of, the YouTube videos and things like that, just by having affiliate links. And that's not even anything. It's just like, if you want to buy the products, click the link, and I'm gonna get a cut. Yeah, I'm just now getting okay with that, Sharon. To jump to try to sell my videos like Cesar Milan does. I don't know. I don't, and maybe not. I'm not gonna say never. Maybe in the futures, but um, just right now, I don't think I'm at the point where I could actually sell videos like Caesar does. But I'm so flattered that you would think that that would be possible for me. Thank you so much, Sharon. Daniel Brown, hi June, good, love how. Yeah, Daniel, you love this mic, you love this new mic, baby. I'm digging it. um, Lynn Cox, where are you located at? Lynn, I'm in Georgia. I'm in Suwannee, living with my parents at the moment. But they're getting ready to move to Alaska at the moment. So my dad's leaving next month. And then my mom's trying to wrap things up here and move out there. So we're going to be here in Suwannee for a little bit. And then once they sell the house and move out, my wife and I are going to move closer inside the perimeter. So we're going to be in Atlanta, Georgia, so that we can be closer to all my clients. I won't have to drive so much. It's like an hour and a half drive in the morning sometimes with traffic. Oh my goodness, I'm going through audiobooks like crazy. So it's a good thing. But if I could just shorten that commute a little bit. Um, Giselle in blue. Hey June. Hey, what's up, Giselle? Giselle, hold on. Oh my goodness, I was just like reading the Giselle in blue. Oh my goodness, how are you? Wow. Okay. Sharon Land, your friends will support your kindness. Oh my goodness. Yes, Sharon, thank you so much. And that's really what it comes down to, right? I mean, you guys are all supporting me, really. Supporting my ideas, and the things that I'm doing. I really appreciate it. Steel Texas Gal, I have noticed, so happy that you even thought enough to try to apply anything I said. What? You had great ideas. I love the snippets of instruction, so helpful. I enjoy these Q&As. Didn't want you to get burned out. Oh my goodness. Yeah, and you know what? Speaking of burned out, I'm actually gonna this is a blog idea, but I'll go ahead and share it real quick because I think it's a good one. My cell phone, I have to keep it charged constantly, like plug it in. It's like 54%. It usually doesn't last the day. So I always have to remember to take a charger out with me. And I know how it got that way. It's because, especially driving cross country, car chargers and things like that, I didn't let this phone the battery died down all the way before charging it. And when I charged it, I didn't let it charge all the way sometimes. Sometimes I'll pull it off the charger and start using it before it actually charged all the way. And with my Dremel, when I file the dog's nails, they would just zap. The batteries would zap so fast. And I realized it was because I wasn't using it all the way till it died and then charge it and let it. And that's how these batteries last. That's how your phone lasts. And that's how I realized it just hit me. That's how we can last as groomers or as whatever it is that you do. I think that we can avoid burnout by using ourselves up completely. Like every single day when I'm done with the day, like I said, when I'm grooming a dog, I'm focused completely, sweating, everything. And when I'm done with the day, driving home, I'm listening to these audiobooks and I'm slapping myself. Sometimes I'll turn it off and turn on some music and just sing because I'm falling asleep. I'm so tired. And when I get home, sometimes I help my wife with the dishes or cooking, and we get the kids done ready for bed, and then her and I will hit the gym, and I come back home and I am spent. Sometimes I just crash because I don't even I can't even keep my eyes open to take a shower. I know that's nasty, but then I'll take a shower in the morning the next morning when I wake up. But it's because I feel like because I spend everything I got, I put it all into the day. And then the next day I'm charged because I sleep all through the night. And on my days off when I don't have a dog to groom, I think my body knows somehow because I am completely exhausted. Like sometimes I can't even get out of bed. Like I'll lay there for hours just like feeling tingly all over, because I'm just so exhausted. And I think that's why I'm still as excited and passionate at year 7 in my grooming. I think I'm actually more enthusiastic and more passionate now and more like excited and curious. Like I don't know. I just feel like, wow, there's so much to learn. Like I don't know. I just feel like I'm more turned on now, 7 years into grooming, than I was, in the first year. And I think it's because of that very fact. Like Jim Rohn says, how hard is it to wake up in the morning when you know you're not doing your best, when you know you're not pouring it on, when you know you're not going after your dreams? you can lay there, for like another few minutes, right? You say, tell yourself, what's a few more minutes in bed anyways? It's not going to matter. It does matter. It will matter. It all matters. And how hard is it to get up out of bed when you're pouring it on every single day? You're going after it. You're hitting it as hard as you can. I mean, you literally pop out of bed, and you're like, oh my God, I don't even know how I fell asleep. Like, what happened last night, And that's the thing is like, I really feel like whether you're grooming or you're in sales or whatever it is that you do, the way to prevent burnout is when you're resting, rest. Do not go back to work. Do not pick up phone calls for work. Don't think about work. When you're on vacation, be on vacation. When you're at work, be at work. Don't think about anything else and pour it on. And I think that's how to prevent burnout. I'm gonna try to think of like simplify that and write it a lot better in the art blog article. But yeah, it just kind of hit me like, wow, that's how to keep a cell phone to last, the batteries to last. That's how to keep the Dremel batteries fresh. You got to use it up entirely before you charge it, and when you charge it, do not interrupt the charge town, that downtime. um, let's see here. Bees knees. Out of all I have learned, can honestly say I've learned the most from your videos. Wow. Whoa. Thank you so much. Gratitude to all your giving of your knowledge, experience, learning. Most groomers here do not wish to share. That is a shame. Um, and I don't know. Here's here's a story that I'll never forget. Michelle Knowles told me while I was working with Michelle Knowles out in Cave Creek. We were having lunch one day, and she was telling me that the groomers who do not share their knowledge with other groomers, they're just she was like they're playing a losing game. There was a restaurant that Michelle used to go to. They served the most amazing blueberry pie, and she said this blueberry pie was so famous that people would drive for miles, like others, like states over, even they would drive just to try this blueberry pie. The lady who made the blueberry pie, she passed away without ever teaching anyone the recipe or how she made it. That restaurant, no matter how many times they tried to make a blueberry pie or try other things, it was never the same. And she was like, what a shame. What a shame that nobody will ever get to enjoy that blueberry pie again just because that lady didn't share her knowledge. It died with her. And so yeah, I remember her telling me that, and it's like it's I guess it's the fear that if I share this knowledge, then other people will somehow take it and they'll benefit and I won't. But that's nonsense. And here's the thing, no matter how much somebody benefits, or no matter how well someone does or how rich they get, what does that matter to me? It's not going to pay my bills for me. And let's just say that they crash and burn, they go bankrupt. Now they're completely poor. How does that affect me at all? It doesn't mean that I'm going to get rich just because they got poor. I really think that we should, not should, we could. I really think that we could all benefit by not looking at each other as so competitively, and help share knowledge so we can create more better ways to do things, and things like that. Everyone can benefit. Um, Bees knees, but that was a really good point, bees knees, and you're right. I really don't. Yeah, there are some groomers who don't want to share their knowledge, and that is a shame. Um, but I think that they're fighting a losing battle there. Bees knees. I think when wags are nervous with feet, many are if you do not behave like it is a big deal and not lift the legs in a position that is uncomfortable. Great points right there. First of all, if your dog's acting nervous for the feet, approach it like it's no big deal, and the dog usually will calm down. And the second point that I really like is don't lift it in a position where it's uncomfortable, like out to the side. And I know dogs sometimes they lift their legs out to pee, but still lifting out to the side like that, it actually puts a strain on their joints like that. So lifting it back, because when they run, their legs go back. Going straight back is really gonna be a lot easier on the dogs, especially if they're older. If they're older and you're pulling it out to the side like that, sometimes they're gonna fuss. And I remember when I had back pain, I have two herniated discs that were ruptured. And I remember when I had really severe back pain, just the thought of getting up from the couch would scare me. I would be full of anxiety just at the thought of getting up from the couch because I knew the pressure change was going to give me that feeling that I'm about to snap in half. And so I understand when the dogs are older and they've already had this experience with you before where you pulled their legs up and it made them feel uncomfortable and it hurt. Just the thought of getting up on that table again probably causes them anxiety. Sharon Land, my daughter heard using coconut oil on a dog is good to repel fleas. How is it? How is that on their skin? How do you treat fleas if they get in your house, or should I just call pest control? Sharon, um, coconut oil doesn't really repel fleas. It is okay to use on your dog's skin very lightly, and it's great to add it to their food, in moderation. Um, But as far as fleas, even lavender and rosemary oils, the essential oils, as you know, mixed with grapeseed oil. So anytime you're using essential oil, you want to mix it with the base oil, like a carrier oil. And so I have grapeseed oil and mixed with lavender and rosemary, essential oils. It does help a little bit at the time of application, but it here in Georgia, the fleas are just too much. I tried Diatomaceous Earth last year, it wasn't working. I was trying essential oils. I mean, it just doesn't keep them off. So for me, I now try Canine Advantix too, and that seemed to do the trick. And I have no fleas on my dogs right now. It's wonderful. They don't itch or anything. They're not itching. They're not uncomfortable, and I love it. I don't love the fact that I'm putting these topical like poisons on their skin, and it even says like it kills them on contacts. It's like, wow, I'm putting stuff on my dogs that's so strong that is killing these bugs on contact. I don't know how safe it is for their skin, but I do know that I do just don't like seeing them uncomfortable and always itching and, being bothered by these bugs. And lavender oil and the rosemary oil, it was helping, but it wasn't keeping them off for good, and I would have to keep reapplying it and be diligent about that. And so, yeah, me personally, for flea control, I say like I've gone I've gone over and just went ahead with the traditional flea medication because hey, we're in Georgia, out in Utah, and even Arizona. I think I could have gotten away with just the essential oils, but here in Georgia, I mean, it's just too thick. um, what's next question? Bees knees. Also, perhaps when sitting with your dogs, just touch the wag's little feet and get your dogs used to having paws touch. Sorry, not mean, but not mean to, but in LOL. Okay. But yeah, just sitting with them, getting them used to having their feet touched. Wow, it's already 10:08. Okay, let me wrap this up. Michelle Garcia, I totally supported you. I totally support you. You are awesome. Thank you, Michelle. Amiga 360. Hey, what's up, Amiga 360? Good to have you back. Love you. Thank you so much. I feel the love. I really do. Daniel Brown, hi dogs. Hi dogs. Good. I'm good today. Walking today. Nice. Good for you, Daniel. Enjoy that weather out there in New Zealand. MS Insomnia 89. My dog acts like she's being murdered when I try to clip her toenails. It's crazy because she loves every aspect of grooming except for that. I tried to make a doggy scratch board in my distress. LOL. And then she says, Miss Insomnia 89. I thought maybe I'd train her to scratch it, like a cat or something, I guess. Yeah, but the thing is, even though she's acting like she's getting murdered, if you really kind of treat it like it's just no big deal and maybe have someone just help hold, secure her and just get it done and do it routinely, usually they finally, even if it is something that they really just don't like, they usually find a way to tolerate it, especially if nobody else is acting like it's a big deal, everybody else is calm, and it's just getting done and I'm never getting hurt. Usually they warm up to it. Triple Lotus, awesome analogy of using using up and charging the batteries. Oh, thank you, Triple Lotus. I'm glad you like that. Because I was actually thinking maybe this isn't making sense. As I was like saying it, I was thinking maybe this isn't making a lot of sense. Uh, Andrea Berta, your parents did a nice job on you. Oh, really? Oh my goodness. Um, I don't know because even yesterday I probably shouldn't have, but my mom, I told her like, you know, when I hear about a lot of these people who made it and throughout all their struggles in life, I hear that they say my mom always believed in me, my mom always encouraged me, my mom always told me, you can do it, I believe in you. And I was telling her like, I wonder how that would have felt, like I never was encouraged, I never was told I was any good, everything just was never good enough. Even yesterday, the reason why we got into that argument is because nothing was good enough, and I was like, I even told her, I was like, mom, like I was telling her like, you keep telling me that I'm doing a dirty job, that I'm playing around, I'm not being a responsible adult. And then now that I'm actually doing well, it's like, when are you gonna get serious about saving money? Now that we're saving money, it's like, is that all you got saved up? And I don't know, even when I was a little kid, like I would go out and just try to do really good in these like performances and stuff at school and elementary school. And afterwards she would be like, look at all those other kids, look at what they did. And like not I remember one time I visited my mom when I was out in Arizona. I came out here. I was like, Mom, can you believe that people are actually buying the book that I wrote? Like people is actually selling like over at that time, like over 1,000 copies sold. She was like, I was like, what? Like, aren't you proud? So yeah, I mean, I guess, I guess my parents did a good job. I mean, they did the best they could, but yeah, and maybe when I really think about it, maybe I wouldn't be who I am now had I gotten a lot of encouragement, because like I had a dream the other night. I was back in my old high school and they were calling all of our names, the graduating class, the alumni, and every name that was called, people would clap, and they would walk over and join the rest of the group. And my name's last name's Y, so I was called up last, and they called my name. Everyone stopped, and I expected people to clap, too, because they clap for every other name. And so when they called my name, I was like, hey, and then it was silent. Nobody wanted to clap. And I remember it was a dream, I was just like acting like, oh, like trying to be funny about it and stuff, and just trying to, like I always do. I just try to make a joke out of it, play it off. But, it really did bother me. And it was always like that as a kid. I always kind of felt like nobody really liked me. Nobody really cared. Nothing was ever good enough. Even if I did feel like I did my best and I really put it out there, I would drive away from my clients' homes thinking like, oh, what if they call and say that they didn't like this or they didn't like that, or maybe I didn't clean up good enough. Did I do that well? Nothing was ever good enough. So I would always have this drive to do more. No, I'm not doing enough. I need to do more. And I struggle with that a lot. But now I think at 36 and through a lot of meditation and a lot of just self-reflection, I realize, you know, I guess it is a good thing. I guess it is good that I was never given any affection really. I was never hugged by my parents. I remember one time I was at a drive. I was getting some. I was at Checkers and I saw like a father and son sitting down about to eat together. I started crying because I was like, I just don't know how that would feel to sit down with my father and have lunch with them like that. If you ever invited me out, I'd be like, what is this about? But hey, Andre Berta, I'm glad you brought this up because I want everyone to know that like you don't need all of that. You don't need supportive parents. You don't need encouraging parents. You don't need money. You don't need good credit. You don't need rich friends. You don't need anything, really. All you need is the desire to make your dreams come true and a real, sincere, deep, like desire is the best word I can come up with. A real, like, just strong desire to help others. As long as you have that, I think you're good. Um, Sharon Land, FYI, June, get a spare battery or charger for your phone. I have battery charging as I'm using my phone. When battery dies, then one ready to go. Oh, that's a great idea. Spare battery that's fully charged. Nice. Um, and Miss Insomnia 89. Ooh, do yourself a favor. Listen to TED Radio Hour podcast episode called Open Source. It talks about how sharing our ideas allows us to build on ideas and make new discoveries. Wow. Okay. So that's called TED Radio Hour podcast Open Source. Okay. Dottie. Hi, June. When my daughter takes our poodle to the groomer, she gets his coat cut very, very short. Doesn't it itch a lot when the coat grows back? Yeah, Dottie, and you should feel the love. You are my favorite groomer. Oh, thank you so much. But yeah, poodles, I really want to go too short, but um, like the poodle feet, some people shave the feet really close in the face, like clean face. And I'm not against it, especially with the poodles, it is breed standard, but I do a lot of carding and just clearing out a lot of the dead crud and the dander and all that stuff. I get that out of the pores first, clear it out of the skin, and then I shave it close. That way, the skin is clear and they're not going to be itchy. But if we don't brush all that stuff and clear a little bit, at least a little bit of it out of their skin, and we just shave it, it locks everything in those pores, and that's what causes those little tiny bumps all over the skin, those little white bumps, and kind of makes the skin feel grainy, makes them itch. Yeah, so I'm not saying don't shave them close. Just um, there are certain things that have to happen before you shave them close. And also, I wouldn't shave the back close, like the top of the back, because the sun can hit it. And with dogs, they have melanocytes. We have melanin granules, and these melanin granules, when we hit the sun, they change colors and we tan. That's how we cope with it. With dogs, they don't tan. They don't have melanin granules that change colors. They have melanin sites, and so that's responsible for the pigment of their hair and their skin and things like that. And it's pretty much set. And so these melanocytes rapidly multiply under the sun when it's directly exposed to the sun. And when that happens repeatedly over time, it causes little tumors to form. And so when those tumors over time can turn into cancer. So a very, very good idea not to shave your dogs, especially in the summertime, especially on the top of their backs, where the skin can show. Uh, Tran Van Heesweek. Keep up the great work you do. I'm so happy. This has been the first live stream I've actually caught actually live. Wow. Awesome. Dottie, my mom is your mom. My mom is so negative. Yeah. I've often wondered what her childhood was like. It doesn't really it doesn't really matter though. Okay, it doesn't really matter though, because your kids are gonna have complaints about you as well. Go figure. Yeah, yeah, they do. Um, and the thing is, with my kids too, I try to reason with them. We don't spank. My wife, she dabbles in it. But anyways, yeah, it's just I feel like there's no real right way. They did their best, and they're human. You know. Sharon Land, love your videos. Money isn't everything. You have a giant heart. We are clapping for you. We love your goodness. Wow, thank you so much, Sharon. I really appreciate that. And money really isn't everything. But I do understand that money is important, and that's the thing. Like my wife and I, the reason why my wife and I we clashed so much at the shop when we had our brick and mortar store was because I would have these amazing conversations with some of these people, and like it would seem like light bulbs were going off. They really got it, like that. We actually have to brush them, and it's about skincare, not hair care, and like wow, you really get it. And so I'd be like, I don't even want to cheapen the experience. Just go, I'm like this conversation means more to me than taking money, than taking payment. Just go. And so then I would have to go. Oh my goodness, it's 10:20. Oh my goodness. All right. So I gotta go. But anyways, so I would tell my wife, I let them have it for free, and then, I would get in trouble. Anyways, Andrea, Idea: hug your parents and tell them you love them. Give them what you'd like to get and see what happens. You're doing great. Oh man, and that's such an easy idea, right? But I don't know, like to actually do it. Oh my goodness, it would be really weird. It would be really awkward. But we'll see. We'll see. I hug my kids. But anyways, I will see you guys maybe next week. I don't know. Maybe we'll do this like once every 2 weeks or so. But it was really good talking to everyone, and I will see you guys next time.